compartment. We've got terminal strips, we've got our fuse block, our power relay. I think mostly stuff we'd shown you before, but now you can see some of the terminal strips have wires going to them. So you can see these are the harnesses right here because the gauges were installed, and so those lines had to be run through the firewall. Let's take a look at the other side of the firewall. Okay, here's the view from the driver's seat. The tack hasn't been wired up yet, but that will be done. Then going across, we have the Curtis displays, the controller displays that will give us, motor temperature, controller temperature, whatever else we kind of want to monitor. And next to that's a 12-volt gauge, which basically monitors our 12-volt system, the DC to DC converter, that type of thing. Down below we have the JLD 404. Turn the ignition on. You can see the 12-volt gauge come to life. Our green light showing that the system is energized. Now when I turn on the heater, you can hear the fan. If you were listening closely, you could hear the contactor energized. Then the controls here will, open and close the vents and direct the heat. Just thought we'd show you this before we put the cover back in place. But this is under the dash on the passenger side. This is where the stock fuse panel is. A lot of the stock wiring is all right there. So there's a hole here, perfect for putting a few things that we added. After removing the heater core, we were able to put our ceramic heater right in the side there, and it will blow right into that same galley that the original fan blew into, and be dispersed amongst the vents. Next to that we have our DC to DC converter. We have the relay that turns that DC to DC converter on. We also have the contactor right here that powers the heater. So we have power that's coming in to one side of that contactor. It goes through the contactor into the heating element. We also pull power off of that same point that goes to energize the DC to DC converter once it goes through that key switch relay. So there's a panel that goes here that will cover all of that. And so getting ready to put that on, just thought we'd show you what things looked like underneath there. I mean, this is all stock stuff and everything, and this is just fit in there real nice. There was actually some mounting points right here. Nothing was mounted there before, but it allowed us to mount right there. And I mean, it's just like this car was made for some of this stuff. Here's the pack charger just sitting in the back here. We have to figure out where to put this thing. We were talking about maybe putting it over here. I don't think it's going to fit, but haven't really done much with it yet. We just stuck it here so it'd be out of the way. So here's the throttle installed using the original linkage. So you can see the addition of the electronic throttle on the left there, and it's mounted to the firewall using existing mounting holes. There was something else mounted there originally, two spots that already have a net welded to the firewall. So we just used that location, made us a mount. Well, the nice thing about doing something all the time is that you just go over to the bin on the shelf and you pull out a spring. We've got a bin with an assortment of return springs, so grab the spring and there you have it, ready to roll. On to the next project.